Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Well, if you clicked on this video, thank you. I am Psychology Eats. I am a reaction channel, an educational channel, and an entertainment channel. And I talk about psychology and I talk about you too if I find you to be interesting. But today, I am talking about narcissists, the narcissistic personality disorder. Now, listen, I have been a psychotherapist for many years, probably over 25 years in practice, working with people from the from depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, personality disorders. There are, I think, nine personality disorders, and one of them is narcissistic personality disorder. And people throw that word around a lot. Like, he's a narcissist, she's a narcissist. Um, Narcissism is quite, I would say, rare that it is such a difficult diagnosis, a difficult personality disorder for someone to have. Thank God it's not like a lot of them, that they're not, common. It's definitely not as common as someone having depression or anxiety. But just the cluster itself of personality disorders is somewhat rare, that you're not going to always meet somebody with a personality disorder. But if you do, or if you think you have, I'm going to talk about what the DSM-5 says about narcissistic personality disorder, and what is the criteria for someone to have in order to be considered a narcissistic personality disorder. So I think I'm gonna title this video, Is Your Man a Narcissist? Because this personality disorder is found mostly in the male gender. So the criteria for a personality disorder is, now some of the word, like I'm gonna break it down because I'm reading this from our the DSM-5, which is the diagnostic manual that we use to determine mental illnesses. So I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you. So the overall definition is a pervasive pattern of grandiosity. So the person always feels like or lives in a fantasy. Pervasive meaning like it's a part of their personality. They do it all the time. It's common for them. Um, they have a need for admiration, so they need people to be like, "Oh my God, you're wonderful, you're great." They need to hear that from people. And a lack of empathy. And so, although they require people to pump them up and make them feel good, they don't have empathy for anyone else. So, they're not going to be upset for you if something happens to you. They don't have the ability to feel that. Um, and it begins in early adulthood and is present in a variety of contexts. And so there are nine criteria. I'm reading off a copy of the DSM-5, but there are nine criteria. And out of the nine, in order for someone to be considered a narcissist, they have to be indicated for at least five. So I'm going to read the nine. If you hear and count five of them that you think your baby daddy fit, or your boyfriend, or your father, your uncle, or rarely, but it could happen, your mama, they might be a narcissist. All right, so here's number one. They have a grandiose sense of self importance, which means they really feel like they the shit. like, but exaggerated. Like, these are the people that you meet them, and the guy, he works at McDonald's. This is just an example. He works at McDonald's, but he gonna tell you he owns 5 or 6 McDonald's franchises. Um, they exaggerate their talents. He gonna say, he play basketball, pick up basketball at the park, but he might tell you he played for the NBA at one time in his life. Yeah. So they have a grandiose sense of self-importance. Number 2, this is the second criteria, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. So they talk a lot about how successful they are in their own head. They brag. That's a person you meet them and they just start bragging about their life, bragging about their accomplishments, bragging about this, bragging about that. But then you find out all that shit was a lie. Number 3, they believe that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should be associated with other special or high status people. These are the people who they feel like they're more than the norm. They're special. They feel like they might start talking like you know like they're a celebrity, or put themselves in a position to be, a celebrity at a status of, it could even be, not celebrity, but a doctor or a lawyer, or like they really feel like they are special and unique, and nobody is like them. Number 4, they require excessive admiration. You can't tell them you can't tell them enough how wonderful they are. You great, you wonderful, you did the best job, you are the best. They need that. Number 5, that has a sense of entitlement. Oh Jesus. A sense of entitlement, favorable treatment, or automatic compliance with his or her expectations, which means as soon as they say something, you're supposed to do it. Like, you need to listen to me. What are you doing? Like, they believe that they should get favorable treatment. Like, whatever they come up with, whatever they decide to do, everybody should jump on board with that and be like, oh my God, that's the greatest thing you ever said. Imagine being with somebody like that. Ladies, if you listening and you like, oh my God, he already don't reach 1 out of 5. I'm with a narcissist. Number 6 is interpersonally explosive, takes advantage of others to achieve his or own ends. So they go off. Like, if you say, or like, no, John, that's not true, or I don't agree, immediate become explosive, nasty, vile mouth, angry, and that's their way of like, you gonna believe what I say, or I'm gonna scare your ass to death. But that's what they, that interpersonal exploitive, just taking advantage of taking advantage of people, taking advantage and being upset and angry if you don't go along with it. Number 7, lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with feelings and needs of others. They don't care how you feel. Your feelings don't matter. Number 8, is often envious of others or believe that others are envious of him. Everybody jealous. Everybody is jealous. Everybody jealous. Everybody is envious, and that's why he gets the responses from people, because everybody jealous. No responsibility on their own for themselves. shows arrogant, naughty behaviors and attitude. So they're arrogant. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I had to end that video. Somebody probably came around me or something. Anyway, so number 9 is the person that is showing signs of being a narcissist shows arrogant, naughty behaviors and attitude. And so, pretty much, we all have our personality traits, and their personality trait is pretty much they're just an arrogant type of person. Naughty, meaning they do and say naughty things, mean things. And so that's kind of how they operate in their life. And they have a nasty attitude. They have a nasty attitude. And so if you find that you think you are in love with, or I don't know how anybody can fall in love with somebody like this, but if you are in a relationship or you have someone in your life that are showing signs of what you believe that they may be a narcissist, there are 9 criteria for a psychologist, psychiatrist, or clinician to identify someone as a narcissist. And out of the 9, 5 or more need to be indicated in their behavior and how they talk, how they communicate, how they, go about their life. And so I think we just use that word too much to describe people that may have a characteristic of being a narcissist. Maybe they're arrogant. Maybe they're, they don't have a lot of empathy for people. They kind of just really care about themselves. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are a narcissist. That's a pretty heavy diagnosis to put on someone and pretty difficult to treat. And so I would hope that, you don't fall in love with a narcissist because if you do, your life will be 100% miserable. But these are the signs, and which it goes back to one of my previous videos is that you don't get into a relationship, a serious relationship with somebody until you've known them at least a year. And so if you give the narcissist 6 months, 3 months, they will show you exactly who they are. And then at that point, you need to make a decision if this is somebody that you want to continue to have a relationship with you. I promise you it won't be healthy and you won't be happy. And if you bring children into it, you will make them miserable too. And overall, your whole experience in a relationship and being a mom, auntie, a godmom, or whatever, it's going to be miserable. So, in conclusion, get to know somebody before you end up with a narcissist and ruin your life. Get to know somebody. Don't drop them panties too fast, ladies. And don't pack your little bags and move into a man's house that you barely know. And with that being said, goodbye.
What's eating you? Psychology Eats is here to help you. What's eating you?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.